Hello fam, how are you all doing? Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe. Thank you. Let's have a look at these videos.
I'm very fortunate. The man that I am married to, Senator Vincent Hughes, 7th Senatorial District of Philadelphia, he has his own life. I have my own life. He has his own real career. I have my own real career. He has his light to stand in. I have my light to stand in. So he is not looking at me thinking about status or this or that. He's doing his thing. I get to do my thing. We also live in separate places. When I go to see him, love to see him. When it's time to leave, bye-bye, see you soon. I'm telling you, life is good. Perfect. I get to be the real good wife.
I don't have anything to say about that, but people are dragging her. I think she has chosen how she wants to be in her marriage or relationship or arrangement. I don't know what they have going on there, but people have a lot to say, and she's been dragged. Like I said, people are now making mockery of her, they're mimicking her and all that. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section. When she was talking about it initially, it sounded great until she got to the part that they stay in separate houses. When I read the comment section, people were like, no, we need to do things together. Staying in separate houses takes away the togetherness. It seems like we are not separated, so what's the point? That is what people were saying in the comment section. So let me know what you think about this in the comment section. Let's have a look at the next video.
A lot of pretty girls will never get married. They'll have a lot of boyfriends throughout their entire life, but they'll never get a husband. Do you know why? Because they're not respectful.
Girl, shut up. Your man literally pimps you out on TikTok. I don't know why you're talking about respect when he does not give you enough respect to get you off TikTok and stop trifling around. Like, damn. She literally came on here and was like, whenever my husband comes home, I get down on my knees and like say, ew. I honestly don't know who to slap, your man or you. Like, please seek help. Both of you go to therapy. God, do not take any advice from this woman. If you are sane, like even a little bit sane, do not take any advice from this woman, please.
It's obvious she's gone. She's giving in. She believes the indoctrination, the patriarchy system, narrative and all that. And looking at her, she had a headgear on, which means she might be a Muslim. And they have their religious teachings and all that when it comes to man and woman. How a woman should serve their husband and how a man should treat their wives. I think their religion is the one that encourages men to get married to up to 4 wives. Imagine that kind of setting. Imagine having a man that believes that it's okay for him to get married to more than 3 wives. What do you think that man is going to have for you? He's not going to regard you. He's not going to have respect for you. That's the truth. He's not going to make effort to keep that relationship going. The most he can do is give you money, and he thinks money is everything. The most he can do is build you a house, and he would think he's doing the most. Please don't listen to such teachings. I'm not sure she knows what she's talking about. And one of the reasons why men have issues with pretty women is because they don't have the nerves. They don't have what it takes to woo them. They feel like because she's pretty, she's got a lot of attention from other men. They feel insecure. They feel intimidated because they know that they don't stand a chance to get her attention. They will resort to saying bad things about her, bad mouthing her, trying to tear her down. They do that a lot. And you know, when something is in demand, the competition is high. That means when it comes to you picking a man, your standards will be so high. So it makes it difficult for men that don't have what you're looking for to even have a chance to even get your attention, if you get what I mean.
This comment is one of many. The amount of sisters that commented on my video and said, I wish I wasn't married. If I could do it again, I wouldn't get married. I'm trapped. Do you know how heartbreaking that is? Brothers, what are we doing? My sisters, your pain is valid. You're told to endure the hardships. Stay silent. Oh, he's just like that. Your family's reputation matters so much more than your own happiness. But my brothers, when's the change going to come? When are we going to start taking responsibility for our actions? When's there going to be some sort of accountability? Because this can't go on. And I know you're listening, so listen to this clearly. Ask yourself, are you contributing to your wife's happiness? or you should add into her pain.
I'm going to give you some really important advice about marriage from somebody who's divorced in their mid-30s. If you're in your teens, 20s, maybe even early 30s, you will have been brought up thinking that marriage is the ultimate act of love and the ultimate act of romance. And I am here to tell you that is a scam. It is not. Do you want to know what marriage really is? Marriage is legally and financially tying yourself to another human being. And I will admit, when I got married, I was completely swept up in the romance and the love, but also I felt worthy. I felt like I had succeeded. It felt like a personal achievement. The same as my PhD, it felt like an achievement that I'd managed to find marriage. And especially as women, we are conditioned to believe it's an achievement. It's not an achievement, it's a scam. Marriage is about financial and legal ties. Origin of marriage is based on the farming revolution and land ownership. And women were traded for land. That's it. Marriages only recently have been started to be about love. Until the 60s, 70s, women couldn't open bank accounts. They couldn't have mortgages without a man. We needed men. That's what marriage is. Marriage is about money. Marriage is about legal ownership of people. So when you're getting married, when you're thinking about this idealistically, or maybe you're feeling sad that you're not married and all your friends are, because I know that feeling is brutal. Just remember what marriage actually is, because you only really realise when you're getting divorced just how legal and financial marriage is. And if you're not careful, you can get in really big trouble. If you're not careful, if you don't have the money for a lawyer and your partner has a better lawyer, you can lose a lot. Divorce is not a 50-50 split. In the UK, it's about need. It's very subjective. So before you get married, or if you're idealising it, just pause and look up how divorce works. Because my advice for you, for anybody considering getting married, is to have complete financial transparency. And I know it's not romantic. You have to really know the financial status of the person you're marrying, okay? And I definitely will not be financially and legally tying myself to another human being again. I'd happily have a ceremony, I'd happily have a wedding, but legally I will not be getting married again. And I think that this is the type of thing that I really wish I'd seen beforehand. I wish I'd known. I wish I'd understood. Because at least then you're prepared. 50% of marriages end in divorce. Don't be naive and think you might not be part of it. You might not, but you might be. So there is my little PSA on marriage.
So having seen this video, what then do you now think about the first video clip I played? The video where the woman was talking about how she lives in a different house from her husband. Do you think her own approach to their marriage is the best way? Do you think so? Because with what she explained, she was being an individual in her explanation. She had her own life going on for her. I'm not sure if they have kids. I don't know what else is going on in the marriage, but from what she said it's perfect, it's good for her. So do you think her own idea towards what marriage should be is the best way? What do you think? Given that marriage has always been all about money, women were sold as slaves and all that, women serving men and all that. I'm talking about the patriarchy marriage. So do you think the woman's marriage, the one she described, is the best way to go? Maybe you could do all that, but not stay in a separate house. So when you're in a marriage, you should see yourself as an individual. I say this all the time. When you're in a relationship, see yourself as an individual. This life is a personal race. Everyone is on a journey. So to me, the way I perceive marriage is this: everyone is on a personal journey, but you've decided to have a travel partner, someone that would make your journey more interesting. Having someone on your journey does not mean that you should forget yourself as an individual. You still need to be on your own journey, facing your destination. And the person that you have in your life should also be on their own journey, facing their own destination. But it's better and it's easier when you have someone that both of you are going the same direction, so you don't have chaos in your marriage. To avoid confusion, when you have someone that is going the same destination as you, it makes the journey more interesting without friction. Imagine getting someone that is going left and you're going right. It's not going to work. It's either you leave your journey and join his journey, and that is what we get a lot in marriages, in patriarchy marriage. They expect women to abandon their lives and make their lives all about the man. That's what we get in the patriarchy marriage. So with the modern marriage, with the partnership marriage, it's important for you to remain an individual. Go after your career. Do what makes you happy. Don't make your life all about the man. Don't be dependent on that man. No, have your own thing working for you. Have your respect, your self-respect. Don't be too vulnerable. Don't be too open. No. Humans have tendency. There is something called human tendency. Over familiarity leads to something else. Don't forget that. Maintain your self-respect. Avoid things that will lead to disrespect. Not because you're married, you become loose and behave anyhow and act anyhow and don't comport yourself. Don't do that. There's something we call see finish. Disrespect will start creeping in. It's part of human nature. When you give too much, you start losing respect. So I get her point. I get what she's saying. I mean, the lady that had the purple dress on, I get her point. But when she spoke about them living in separate houses, I don't understand that part. But anyways, it's her choice. And she says she's happy. And to me, from her explanation, it sounds like there's no stress in that relationship. It sounds like everyone has respect for each other. It sounds like everyone is minding their business. But I'm not sure if that man is saying it the way she's saying it. That man might be cheating or doing something else. I don't know. I'm just speculating. You know how men can be.
I truly believe that if our mothers and grandmothers were actually telling us the truth when we were children, a lot of us would never want to be married or have children.
The women in my family did tell the truth, and I am grateful for it every single day. My grandmother and her two sisters, all born in the early 1900s and all highly educated women with master's degrees and successful in their occupations, told me when I was very young, never depend on a man. I didn't know the meaning of this at the time. This was in the 1970s when I was in elementary school, but I recognized the seriousness of their tone and the fact that these women were always talking about get an education, get your own job, have your own money, over and over and over again. I made a video about this topic 2 years ago, and I still get notifications on that video almost daily with hate comments from men who are not criticizing the message of my video. They're criticizing my voice, the way that I look, the fact that I'm divorced, and the fact that I will be alone with cats. When I got married at 27, we were established in our lives. I had my own bank accounts, he had his own bank accounts, we had our own credit cards. We didn't need to merge any of that. And when I said that in the last video, I had a lot of people come in and say, oh, well, you were setting yourself up for divorce anyway. You were never really in it because you didn't trust each other. It wasn't a matter of trust. I am a saver, he is a spender. And with separate bank accounts, guess what we never fought about? Money. When we got divorced 22 years later, it was really simple because we never wanted kids and never had kids, and all of our finances were already individualized. And since we were both teachers making just about the same amount of money, there was no talk of getting each other's pension, and there was no need to talk about alimony. So was I expecting a divorce in my life? No. But did my grandmother and her sister's information help me in a way that I never expected? Yes. When you have your own money and your own education, you have choices. You will make better decisions for yourself. Never forget that. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
This is why I never take anything men say seriously, because no matter what we do, whether we're celibate or whether we're doing hookups, we're still going to be talked down to and degraded and spoken to like sex dolls with no autonomy. Whenever I respond to these comments, it's never to argue or to try to change their minds, because that would simply be impossible. There's no way you can fix somebody with this kind of crazy thinking. Only a lobotomy would do that. But what I'm going to do is use this video to kind of put a spotlight on the types of men that think this way, so that the women that watch my content on here can understand the way that they think and how to avoid them. These types of men view sex as an act that is being done to women instead of an act that is being done with them. They view sex as something that they do to women that devalues them. So using that logic, the men that think this way, that have intercourse with you, are consciously devaluing you. They don't view sex as something that you do together with another person. They see it as a way to conquer you. And for this reason, they're viewing sex as a way to violence against women in a way that is technically consensual. These men that view women this way have the same ways of thinking of rapists and violent men that commit SA and assault all the time. And this is why I never really advertised the fact that I'm celibate. It brings in a whole other audience of men that are very creepy, weird, and predatory because they praise women for being pure and not being sexually free or sexually expressive. These types of men are predatory and just as violent as rapists because they don't think women should have the ability to enjoy sex. These types of men shame women for even wanting, liking, or enjoying sex. This is a very grapey, predatory way of viewing sex with women because if we're not enjoying it, what are you doing it for? If you're going to shame us for enjoying and liking sex and you guys always want to do it to us, if we're not supposed to want it, enjoy it, like it, what's the point? It's really only for you, right? And this goes without saying, but ladies, we know that the same men that call us WHORESs, when they call us that, these are the same men that if you look at their following list, these are the same men that have corn addictions. These are the same men that always go to strip clubs. These are the same men that subscribe to people's OF sites. These are the same men that single-handedly keep these OF sites and these corn sites in business and have for decades. If men are the only people that are supposed to like, enjoy, and want sex, and women aren't, and we're supposed to be shamed for it, what would we like to call that? Let's call it what it is. Grape culture. Red pill culture. These are the same men that brag to their male peers about how many women they can bag in one weekend. These are the same men that get so much validation for the amount of women they can pull. These are the same men that lie, scheme, and manipulate women into sleeping with them and then afterwards calling them easy. When the reality is, men are the original bops. A man is the easiest thing to get. Men are easy. Me being celibate is a choice. And I think these men are angry because I don't think their celibacy is a choice. Women are more sexually disciplined than men, and that is just a statistical fact. They're just going to keep gaslighting us into thinking that we're doing something wrong. They're going to keep calling us cat ladies and trying to make us feel bad for being single and living alone and being at peace with ourselves without needing a man. They're going to keep calling us crazy for choosing the bear, when in reality, even wild animals treat us better than men do in our own societies.
Please let me know what you think about this video in the comment section. Click this video to watch how men prey on women and want to control women, and I will see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.